blessings. Lady Leeanna here with another edition of Tarot Card Lessons Made Easy. And as a lot of you may know, I have to do a lot of my taping during the daytime because my husband is at home at night and it leaves for little time with all the family things that go on. And on Sundays, because that's my only day off. Today there happens to be a lot going on at the fairgrounds, which is right behind me, and so there's an unusually high amount of traffic going through. So I hope that you can forgive me and that we can get through this today. You know, and on top of everything, it is a biker rally, and you know how that could be. The hum of the Harley going down the road. But you can't gripe or complain about that. Anyway, the highway is right outside my door. Anyway, we've been going up all the way through the major arcana and have finished that. And we had gotten through most of the suit of wands within the minor arcana, and we have made our way to the last card within the suit of wands, which is your King of Wands. A lot of people argue that the Ace of Wands would be your final card, and a lot of them say that your Ace of Wands is the beginning card because in the regular playing deck it is the One of Wands as well. I mean, if you're going to look at it that way. But, or clubs, the One of Clubs. But, you know, I look at it in the way that the Ace of Wands is the number one in wands, and that the King of Wands is indeed the final card. But that's just my way of looking at things. Anyway, the King of Wands is the card you should have out of your deck now so that you can go over it with me. And I have began flashing up the card on the screen in a big picture so that you can see it, leaving it there quite a bit so that you could follow along if you don't have a deck of your own. And I guess I should have been doing that a long time ago, but I didn't know how to edit, and I've been learning a great deal, people. I really have. And so I'm doing better, alright? Give me a thumbs up on that. Anyway, the King of Wands. Let's talk about this fine gentleman, fine as he were in the upright position. Alright, the King of Wands, he sits upon a throne whose back of the throne reaches up past the edge of the card, much like the Queen of Wands, which represents endless possibilities for the person that this card belongs to as a significator, or if this card couples with their card. But the King of Wands throne goes up past the edge of the card. Endless possibilities. This person could accomplish a lot of great feats. Now, feats, that's a funny word, right? My feet are firmly planted on the ground, but, you know, I guess we're not looking at it in that way, are we? Anyway, the Leo symbol is all over the back of the throne, representing the sign of Leo, which is a fire sign. And the salamander curled into a circle, which represents eternity, is mixed with the Leo sign across the back of the throne. And the salamander itself also is a fire sign. So this card is very much of the fire element, according to the Ryder deck of cards. People who made such deck. Anyway, he holds in his right hand a staff, which represents not only the fact that it's a staff, but that it's in his right hand. It represents authority, power, being well looked at by whatever people may follow him or simply look up to him. The staff itself is still growing greenery, which means growth and fertility internally, educationally, and maybe business-wise and prosperity. Although generally it's more about education, knowledge, and wisdom. Okay? Now, he rests upon his throne, which sits upon a foundational disc, which is square. The square representing solidity and foundation, along with the fact that it's a foundation that he's sitting on. It represents foundationalism, meaning that the person would be very foundational and loyal, devoted, can be relied on, is dependable. Okay, now there is a salamander likewise resting beside him, which is a fire element, as I said, but it's sitting beside him, meaning that his element is very well threaded through him, and he with it, that he's at one with his element and it with him. And so he is very stable with who he is, and it leaves little doubt. He could be a very proud man, sometimes overly proudful, sometimes judgmental. Okay? Now, typically in the upright position, it could be judgmental, but not to the vast degree as in the upside down position, although he could become a little unnerving at times because he believes the way he believes and to a fault. But the orange and red throughout his gown and the yellow throughout his cloak represents fire likewise, as in the rest of the card, meaning that he's very passionate, very emotional, in tune with being spontaneous, very adventurous, could be sexually adventurous likewise, but still respectful with it. He's a man who lives in the country a lot of times, but not always. And it says that he's typically a father of a family, which means he would have kids usually. And if not, he would be a very good father. It shows that he's honest, loyal, devoted, chaste, and giving, which means you can rely on the fact that he would not cheat on you, and he would always tell you the truth if he is true to his foundation, if he hasn't been corrupted by abuse or whatever, things that could dirty the water, so to speak. Anyway, a very good card of a man who can be relied on, a very good relationship oriented card, someone that you can bank on being there for you and being true for you. Be ready to be sexually adventurous and to be whisked off many grand places. Also, be ready for him to teach you at every corner, or to try to. Try to balance him well and keep him modest as far as trying to be judgmental or whatnot. Because although he's very good, he could get a little on your nerves, I think. Now, let's talk about this card in the upside down position. And here we are upside down. In the upside down position, it would be quite the opposite of what we saw in the upright position. Although the back of the throne still reaches to the edge of the card, it means still that this person has endless possibilities and could accomplish a lot of great things. But he's flaky, unfoundational, maybe bipolar, changes his mind a lot, could be imbalanced, much like the Queen of Wands, could have a screw loose or have problems psychologically speaking. Cannot be trusted, would be bound to cheat on you most of the time, slow to grow, laziness. Alright? Not well looked upon by the family, and definitely not a person of authority, has lack of will. Alright? And he goes against his fire element, and probably should fall off of his throne. Now, as most of you know, a lot of times the card will come up in the center of the Celtic cross method, and in other methods of reading, it'll come up on its side. When a card falls on its side, it is always red in the upright position. Okay? But it's something that hasn't happened yet or is coming about. Okay? Now, I have covered the card in the upright and the reverse position, and I hope that you've gotten out of this card what you needed. Please subscribe and share the video around and give it a like if you did like it, okay? This has been Lady Leeanna with another edition of Tarot Card Lessons Made Easy. always trying to bring you the best in knowledge and wisdom on these cards. You take care of yourself, and until we meet again, merry part. Bye-bye.